This may come as a surprise, but I don't like this movie at all. I already kind of did a review of this movie already, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I have so much more to say than what I said in that original review. Besides, I feel like I could have edited it a lot better. So today we're going to take a look at this atrocity that claims that it's way better than the Michael Bay franchise. We start off in the middle of a battle on planet Cybertron, where cliche battle dialogue is currently being shared in between the Autobots and Decepticons.
They've broken through the front lines!
I've lost contact with the capital!
Too many of them! Turn fast! Finish them!
And as if this battle couldn't get any more fanservice-y enough, we see the main guy himself, who isn't the main protagonist, Optimus freaking Prime, who says something very peculiar.
Where's B-127?
Who? Of course, Optimus is referring to Bumblebee, but I can't help but ask, why the name change? It is so unnecessary, especially considering that Optimus's name wasn't changed. And if the creators of the movie were so concerned that Bumblebee sounded too earthy, then they would have changed the names of all the other Transformers. But they didn't. They only did it with Bumblebee. And I can tell that this is a last-minute change as well, because in the trailer, Bumblebee is referred to as Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. There is only one way to end this war. B-127. Bumblebee. B-127.
Sorry I'm late. Hit a little traffic. Optimus?
Decepticons. Attack.
Yeah, Soundwave. We know. What do you think we've been doing the past 65 stellar cycles? Freaking idiot. Optimus Prime then gives the order for all the Autobots to fall back. This leads them to go to the launch pad in order to escape from planet Cybertron. Which, why they weren't doing that before, I have no idea.
Optimus, this is our home. We have to fight for it.
We will fight on.
Whoa, hold up. So hold on just 1 second. Okay, show an image from 5 seconds ago. Now show the one I just paused. The background changed. The entire freaking background changed. Are you seriously telling me that this one cutaway shot has the power to completely change the layout of this launch pad? And I know that the perspective didn't change because the layout of the characters is exactly identical to the previous shot. How do you expect me to take your movie seriously when you can't even get the freaking background right? So anyway, the Decepticons finally catch up to the launch pad and they take it down even though they already caught up to it. Bumblebee launches to Earth and Optimus Prime's suicide attempt fails. And all that was just the first 3 minutes of the movie. I get the feeling that this review is going to be in multiple parts. We then cut to Earth in the 1980s, where there is currently a military training session going on, when all of a sudden, they get rained on by fire.
You weren't husband as a kid.
Look, man.
Danny, I know I look stupid, but...
Yo, take cover!
This is Agent Jack Burns. I need medical up here now. And would someone please explain to me why you dropped napalm on your own guys?
That's so obviously not napalm. I mean, you're in the military. You know this. For those of you who don't know, napalm is a chemical weapon primarily used in the Vietnam War. It is very destructive and can light pretty much anything on fire, and that fire is very hard to put out. If this were napalm, half of the forest would be on fire by now. Anyway, Bumblebee raises from the crater that he has created, and... hold on. Where's his escape pod? You know, the thing that he was in when he was leaving Cybertron? Where did that go? Is it an orbit around Earth? Did it get burned up? Where is it? It just vanished. Anyway, so after Bumblebee crashed onto Earth and was spotted by the humans, a chase ensues, leading to him taking his first ever vehicle form, this Jeep.
What the hell?
I'm sorry. What do you mean, what the hell? Allow me to explain my confusion. Agent Burns is one of the higher-ups in a military organization called Sector 7 in this movie. Now, in the first Transformers movie, Sector 7 has been an organization since the early 1900s, and their purpose is to keep the Transformers secret from the general public, whilst also studying them. So this implies that Sector 7 already knows about the Transformers. And yet Agent Burns' reaction implies that this is the first time he's ever seen something like this. Now, this is why I'm going to get into something very deep, and this is why I said that this tangent is going to go for a long time. Obviously, this movie was intended to be a prequel for Bumblebee. That's why Bumblebee looks like this and not like this. I've explained this before. But if this were the case, Optimus would look like this and not like how he's portrayed in this movie, which creates almost a sort of mixed tone that gives the movie a very confusing feel. I believe that the reason why this change was made was because of a scene in Transformers The Last Knight where we see Bumblebee and Hot Rod kicking Nazi ass in the 1940s. Obviously, this is not what the movie was intended to be. It was supposed to take place in the 1980s, and it was supposed to be this whole thing. That's why Megatron isn't seen in the movie. Travis Knight explained in an interview that the reason why you don't see Megatron in that Battle of Cybertron I dissected earlier is because he's still frozen underneath the Hoover Dam. But if that were the case, then Soundwave wouldn't be in that battle either. In Transformers Dark of the Moon, a movie that came out long before Bumblebee, Soundwave has been on Earth trying to further keep the conspiracy of the Transformers secret, specifically Transformers that crash-landed on the moon. It was his job to ensure that the Autobots do not discover the Ark. It is implied that he has been there since the 70s.
You know why we've not been back to the moon since 1972? Because these two, they came to my dad and they told him to do some creative accounting. They get way too expensive to ever go back, so he and others shut down the American and Russian space programs, and they've been our clients ever since.
And yet this movie has Soundwave on Cybertron. If Travis Knight was so concerned about continuity, Soundwave would not be taking place in this battle. So if you're more than willing to ignore continuity entirely and have Soundwave in this battle, why not have Megatron? In fact, this movie seems to branch off into its own universe that the fans call the Nightverse. Why is this? Well, on top of the Transformers looking like their G1 selves, Optimus Prime in an after-credits scene is shown to have landed on Earth, along with a bunch of other Autobots, thus leading to this movie being changed last minute to reflect that now it is basically a reboot, as people are calling it. So, this movie, in short, is a prequel and its own separate thing. And it's an homage to G1. This movie is 3 separate things at once, and it can't make up its mind. And it just confuses the hell out of me when I'm watching it. It's like, do you want to be a prequel? Do you want to be your own thing? Do you want to pay homage to Transformers G1? Pick one. Don't do multiple things at once. I get it. When that scene in Transformers The Last Knight was released, it must have thrown everything out of left field. So I totally get this from a creative standpoint. But you can come up with something far better than this that further fits into the Bayverse. But you didn't. Instead, you gave up and you decided to make your own universe. Now, I'm all for creative liberties when it comes to this stuff, but come on. If you want this to be in the Bayverse, you gotta put in the effort. And this movie barely did. Alright, where were we? Are we still in this chase scene? Holy crap. Anyway, so Bumblebee is finally cornered. He tries to escape in the mine, but the army guys get him. And then he tries to say, hey, don't do that.
Please. This is a mistake.
Stay cool. Hold your fire.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
And then... Okay, that was weird. Anyway, so this is the first Decepticon that we see Bumblebee truly fight with. Now, I'm just gonna show you what he looks like. Now, your first thought might be, holy crap, G1 Starscream. But no, this is in fact not Starscream. This is a character known as Blitzwing. Yeah. And here we go again with the whole continuity thing. If you want your movie to look like G1, have it look like G1. Why make Blitzwing look like yet another random seeker? So you know what? That's what I'm going. That's who Blitzwing is to me. He is now no longer Blitzwing. He is Random Seeker number 23. So anyway, Random Seeker number 23 flies in, blows things up, and goes in to attack Bumblebee.
Did you think you could hide?
Wait, say that again?
Did you think you could hide?
Now, I don't know about you, but that line implies that the Decepticons knew that Bumblebee was going to Earth. Why not just bring more Decepticons? I mean, Bumblebee struggles to fight Random Seeker number 23 alone. Imagine if there were 2 or 3 of them. It just doesn't make sense. I know. At this point, I'm basically nitpicking. That's basically what the last 10 minutes have been thus far. But these are details that are crucial to the plot of the movie. I mean, it would make so much more sense if you brought 3 Seekers here in order to take down Bumblebee. I mean, for God's sakes, look at this. Bumblebee's getting destroyed by Random Seeker number 23 alone. Imagine if there were 2 or 3 others. Anyway, so Bumblebee ends up losing his voice box after Random Seeker number 23 rips it out of his throat. And then, for some reason, Random Seeker number 23 drops Bumblebee off of a cliff, only to pick him back up. Alright, looks like you got your priorities straight.
You are a traitor to Cybertron, and are hereby sentenced to death.
And this serves as a lesson to all villains in movies. If you're gonna kill the protagonist, do it quickly. Don't go on about talking about, oh, this is a member out of resistance. Oh, God, sentence you to death. Just bam, 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 and he's gone. In fact, if you were going to kill Bumblebee, why rip out his voice box in the first place? Anyway, we all know where this is going. Bumblebee kills Random Seeker number 23, and then he limps away because he's about to pass out. But right before he does, he takes on a new form, a Volkswagen Beetle. Now, I know it's nitpicky for me to point out, but why does Bumblebee do this? There's literally no reason for him to take the disguise of the Beetle other than fan service. That's the only thing that I can think of that Bumblebee scans and transforms into a Volkswagen Beetle now. It's because the fans like it. I don't know. There's no reason for him to get a new disguise. He has a disguise already. I don't know. It's just weird.